Hello, hello, hello. I just little doggy needed attention and I needed a coffee. So here's my coffee mug, the High Priestess mug. And I've got some cappuccino with cream on top of it. Yeah, bit of a treat. How is everyone? Hi, Teresa. Oh, I have a cool little dragon. Got him. Isn't he cute? He's a little guy, but he's so cute. He's my little NRL mascot. I support the National Rugby League team, St George Dragons. Hi, Becky. So I got myself a little dragon. I didn't think at the time that he'd be a cool mascot, but he is. Didn't even think about it. I just thought he looked cute. But yeah. So he came yesterday and the Dragons won their match. Woo! Yeah, I did actually, was ready to go a few minutes ago, but Whitby was needing some food and I needed a coffee. So coffee could probably wait, but Whitby couldn't. So I made them at the same time. So yeah. Food babies. Good. Now, how is everyone? Hope everyone's going well. Going to start off with not quite sure. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie Russell, hi. So we might take a look at Trump administration. What's in the energy for this week? And then we'll look at the office of the president. And that's I'm referring to Paul. It's because yeah. Okay, so the Trump administration. 45. Oh, congratulations, Bonnie. Congratulations. That's amazing. 45 minutes ago. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at what I've got here. Oh, the dragon. Let's have a look. I'm going to draw a dragon card for your little grandson, for your little great grandson, to see what sort of a dragon he is. So I've got the Dragon Oracle cards here. So for Bonnie Russell's little great grandson, let's have a look at what kind of dragon energy the little fella's going to have. So, guides the highest truth and compassion. Please help me draw a card for Bonnie Russell's new little great grandson born just a little bit ago, 45 minutes ago. Let's have a look. What dragon energy will this little fella take with him into life? What has he brought with him into life? Earth and Fire Dragon. Wow. So works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. It is time for service. When you give, you receive. He will be working with others. Let's have a look at the book. And what does the book say about this dragon? Okay. Earth and fire dragon. Air dragon. Water dragon. Earth and fire dragon. Earth and fire dragon. This is a card of service for the fourth dimensional brown and orange earth and fire dragons are calling on us now to help them clear and light up new ley lines in a beautiful planet. The original ley lines were called dragon lines, for they were maintained by the dragons of old. Now a new fifth dimensional ley line system is being placed into the earth to carry golden Christ energy and prepare the planet for a new golden age. The dragons of fire and these path. He is definitely going to be someone that people follow. He's going to be someone that people follow. And when he gives, he receives. But he will not be someone who gives solely to receive. I feel like he will be someone who gives without expectation. Yeah. So he's going to be a trailblazer is the best way to put it. But not necessarily in a huge, big way, but the influence he has on the people around him is going to give people pause and show them different ways of doing things, Bonnie. And a generous spirit. He finds his own way of being of service to others and doesn't expect something back. So a little trailblazer who provides so much more than just guidance to different ways of doing things. It's going to be an innovator, I think, too. So there you go, Bonnie Russell. That's your great little grandson. Fire and earth. Hi, Shelby. Hi, M. Steve. So let's go back to look at what is in store for the... Firstly, let's have a look at messages from the angels first. Messengers from the angels. Messages to the angels. Guy, what messages do the angels have for us? Angels, spirits. Keep persevering and do not give up on your goals. Things may seem like the whole world is going to be stranded on the rocks, but the world will be brought into safe harbour. Again, that's backed up by the next card, which is the Six of Swords, light at the end of the tunnel, coming to an end of a turbulent period. So do not give up, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. Hello, baby girl. There are changes coming. There are changes coming. They will not be able to be stopped, and they won't be able to be reversed. Unstoppable and irreversible. Would you like some nummies, sweetheart? Nummies? Want some nummies? Some nummies? Sure you will. Where would you like them? You want them put here? Here? So there are some big changes coming. Page of Wands. News. And a new strength is going to assert itself. Patience and quiet strength will pay off. So there's some really big changes coming. Perseverance. I've got my New York City beanie in, which I've got when I was in New York. Empire State Building, I think I bought it at. Yeah, because it's cool, but also because my hair is just beyond the help of a scarf this morning. Yeah. Well and truly beyond the help of a scarf this morning. Okay, let's look at the global. I want to have a look at the global energy in dealing with the Trump administration. The global energy in dealing with the Trump administration. I actually got a hit. Something hit me last night when I was watching the news, and I cannot remember what it was. It was about somebody, but I can't remember what it was. So it's, yeah, that was, I think, pretty important, but just came out of nowhere. So Wheel of Fortune. So the global response to, again, his change. It's like being spun. It's like there's so many different ways in which change can and will be brought about. The King of Cups, emotional stability. Again, we're looking at Australia, Europe, Asia, South Africa, all those countries, Canada, the response of all other countries to the Trump administration in this coming week. So change. It's like they're preparing for change. It is a spinning wheel, so it's really interesting. they're ready to roll with things. They're working on maintaining emotional and maintaining the balance, economic, everything. Sort of like this, of course, the water represents the stream of consciousness. They're all working together, but quietly. Yeah. I saw his reaction to the taco comment, and yeah, he wasn't very happy, was he? Okay, the 10 of Pentacles. They know that it's important that how they handle the next few months is going to leave a legacy at the end of it, because this 10 of Pentacles, a 10, it represents the end of a cycle. So, and the financial legacy and the economic health is going to very much depend on how things are. Celebration. Having come safely ashore. So this is what they're working towards. One more card. The 10 of Swords. Yeah, things are dark before the dawn. Again, and the end of another cycle. This is the end of a cycle that is not too good. That has punished those unjustly. Yeah. So there's the one major arcana, but everything else speaks to changes, regaining stability, bringing things safely to shore, leaving a firmer legacy, and leaving behind what is basically been a bit of a dark time. Have a look at the administration itself. The Trump administration, the coming week. Then I'll look at the office of the presidency, which is the man in office and his effect on it. So the current US administration, have a look what's coming this week for them. Two stratagems, but are they going to be right? It's going to take more to find their way out of the labyrinth than a couple of torches. What are their challenges? Oh, again, it's the challenges is, I feel like this is like legacy voting, people getting in because no more of this. My granddad was there and my dad was there, and that challenge is going to keep those legacy seats, and because he's been there for years and years and years, people just want to see them there again. It's going to be keeping those legacy seats, and that challenge is only looking at the next coming week. So this is the challenge, their agenda that they want, and the legacy they want to leave. There's real challenges coming at it. I'm looking at the administration, not the House. We've got the 8 of Swords. The advice here is be careful, or you're going to paint yourself into a corner you can't get out of. What's at the base of this? The King of Wands. This is, of course, Trump and his determination to remain. People don't do as he says, or he doesn't like things, he goes off. This all the worst aspects of the King of Wands. and they have to deal with dealings with the commander-in-chief. Outcome, Queen of Swords. This is clearing out that which does not serve you and having to answer for actions. So that's interesting. So tell us more about the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Cups. I got tired of being smothered. That time the lid came off. Interesting. Oh, the world's been calling this bluff from the start, Shelby Elisa. We've got the Eight of Cups, abandonment. Wow. And this is straight out abandonment. This isn't finding something better. This is, I think that could be losing some key figures because they're clearing out they don't need that crap in their life. And the Hangman, things in limbo. Well, this is going to be interesting. So there's going to be a bit of a clear out. Going to be a lot of individual things here. People acting. Also, I feel like there is, of course, clearing out that which does not serve you. That's a very much a Trump thing, isn't it? So the administration's actually in for a bit of a turbulent week. How much that we'll hear about, don't know. So let's have a look at the office of the president. I've just decided that I get better objectivity if I look at the office or the branch rather than the people. So let's have a look at the office of the presidency. With due respect to such an office, please tell us the truth. And please show us the energy, the truthful energy that is surrounding the office of the presidency this week. Six of Wands. Oh, he's feeling very, very vindicated. I think this might be the win of, another court saying, oh, no, what the international court said was wrong, stuff like that. Vindicated and striding around victorious at the moment. Challenge position. Oh, Judgment. Now, this is a major arcana. This is not the best card to have in your challenge position, a major arcana, because it means major judgments, people standing up, people making themselves and their opinions be known. What's the advice? Seven of Pentacles. If you're not happy with the results, there's only one person to look at to blame. Have a look at what you've done. Okay? But he won't do that. That's the advice. If you're not happy with what's happening and the results of all your actions, well, look at those actions. And you'll see why the rewards have not been there. But, of course, we are talking about somebody who does not listen to advice. What's at the base of this reading for the office of the president? Oh, the Tower. Revelations. Crisis. So we've got judgment in the challenge position. Look at your own actions to see why things are happening. The Tower is the base of this reading for this coming week. What is the outcome? Two of Wands. Now, this is interesting because the administration had that too. Lost in a labyrinth. Things not working out as planned. Strategies not working out. Yeah, he's got torches. What he does need is the red string to get him out of that labyrinth, and he doesn't have that. Show us more about this. Ace of Swords, there's going to be some truths coming out. And real clarity. The Moon, secrets, lies, and spies. Secrets, lies, and spies. Hidden things coming to the surface. And attempts at not distraction, what's it called? Deception. So truth coming out about deception. So plans and strategies not working out. Truth coming out about deception and lies. And what else is there? The Seven of Wands. Standing in defense. It's interesting, this one, the king is standing in defiance and he's fighting, but the Seven of Wands. One more, Nine of Cups. Careful what you wish for, I got. It took me a minute to settle this down, and this is the greedy merchant, the Nine of Cups, who steps on people, doesn't care who he steps on to get there, but I got the word, be careful what you wish for, because, yeah. That's going to be a very interesting week. I uncover the news. Okay. James is saying something about Senate Democrats and Republicans coming together for the bill. But first I want to have a quick look before I go into the House and the Senate at Australian politics. With regard to the opposition, the Labor Party won the biggest victory in 72 years, I think. They won 89 seats. It's the biggest margin of victory in 79 years. It was very conclusive. They can try. Oh, of course he's gonna demand that, but that's not going to happen. States will send, different states will send people to help if they can and stuff. But Canadian firefighters come over here in our summers to help us. We can send people over there. Yeah. But yes, he probably would, but he doesn't control the states, and some of the states will send people. Probably. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. No. He can try. He probably thought about it, but yeah. No, he's not quite that naive. Okay, Australian politics, the opposition. What is in store for the opposition over the next couple of years till the next election, 3 years away? 10 of Cups. This is what they're going to be working towards, getting what they want, which is to win back government. What is their challenge? The truth. Some really essential basic home truths. Will they listen to them or not? It's a different story. What the advice is be prepared for change. Be prepared to change. People say, this is the wheel of fortune. It's about changes in luck. But also, a lot of people resist change. So they have to, like this, it's resisting change. Be prepared to change, to make changes. Base of this reading for them, the Magician. Disappearing seats. They lost a lot of seats. But at the base of this reading, you can see the Magician has all the tools necessary to do the job, to take on the task ahead of them over the next 3 years. I'm looking at the opposition. I'll also look at the government as well. This is here in Australia. And I'm including not just the Liberals and the Nationals who have come back together after splitting briefly, but also One Nation who have the same amount of seats as the Nationals. Those three. What's the outcome for them over the next few years? Regaining some strength, but how much? They really had a leader who did not help. 6 of Wands. Working their way through choppy waters. How much strength? Well, see the light at the end of the tunnel, but whether that will be regaining government or not, I don't know. I voted Labor, so King of Wands, new leadership, steady, quiet. This is what they need to gain, is a leadership that is quiet and passionate, but steady and strong and compassionate. Yeah, we're talking about Liberals here, the right-wing party. Page of Pentacles. In order to do this, they're also going to have to grasp opportunities to make changes, because if they don't, they're not as smart as they think they are. Okay, so that is the opposition in the Australian government. Let's have a look at the next general look over the next 3 years for the government, the Labor Party, the Labor government. I haven't looked at the Australian in a while, so yeah. the Labor government. What has the next year's got in store for it? The lovers, agreements, lots of agreements, lots of coming together with other parties, lots of reaffirmation. This person has a globe in their hand. So on a global stage, global relationships, reaffirming and coming to new global relations. The challenge will be changes. Again, look, the opposition here had the same card. The challenge, but this is in the challenge position, not the advice. So the challenge is knowing when to move, knowing when to make those changes, and knowing when to stay your hand to stop the wheel spinning. Now, these are both major arcana. So what is the advice? Oh, I'll tell you, listen to the people when they speak. This is the third major arcana. So this is going to be a really, really important term for the Labor government in Australia. Listen to what people are saying when they express their judgment. Listen. Don't ignore. Listen, take it in, act on what you hear. At the base of this, 8 of Pentacles. Okay. The last term was their apprenticeship. This term is putting what they learnt over the last 3 years, getting that knowledge and those lessons they learnt and putting that into actions and policies. What's the outcome for the Australian Labor government over the next 3 years? Oh, look at this. This is a pretty good outcome. Start, the hope. Also, learning and bringing new hope. So hope not just for them, but for the country, that things, that the star is also about finding direction. So moving the country in a more hopeful direction that they'll have done. Hi, Sabrina. So let's have a look at that outcome. The 5 of Swords. Okay. There's going to be some losses in amongst that, but there's lessons to learn. And they're going to be, no, they have to be cautionary. The cautionary tale, that card. Look, there are times when the path you're looking at is not going to work out. And if you continue down it, there will be some losses. But if you work with it, there'll be, if you find that path, that better path, things will work out better. Then we have the 10 of Cups. Happy, contented. The term coming to a relatively fulfilling end cycle. And then the Page of Swords. Taking the rough with the smooth. Good news, bad news. Listening to whispers on the wind. That's what I'm getting. So all of these three cards are going to impact the outcome. So at the end of this second term of the Albanese Labor government, they're looking at a new direction and a more hopeful direction. Will they win another term? It's a bit early to say, but will Labor win another term? Oh, yes, they can. Now, this is interesting. Yeah, they can. Because the Liberals or the opposition had this card as well. So they've got all the tools they need to be able to win another term as well. So it's going to be a really interesting election in 2028. It's going to be a really interesting election then. Okay. Now, anyone like me to look at another situation around the globe? I'm just going to have a look at this story that James has been telling me about. Senate agreement. The budget agreement. Bipartisan. Okay. This might be it. No. The Senate rejected the bipartisan bid to block. And that was in May. I'm not quite sure. Oh, thank you, Shelby, Lisa. Hi, Roberta, Nita. Yes, I will be doing some personal reading. Mm-hmm. Earthquakes and water events. Well, that's not surprising. I mean, from a scientific point of view, it is commonly acknowledged that there are changes happening in the magnetic, because the magnetic, it flips and it's reversals, and it's going through a period of that at the moment, and that is going to cause more natural events. Of course, the Pacific Circle, the Pacific Rim, is always a flashpoint. We even get activity in Australia, compression ones, and of course, near Melbourne is some stuff. There's something like 3,000 earthquakes a day in Australia. You just don't feel most of them. I feel like there is going to be a couple of islands. I think there's something like that happening off the Washington state coast at the moment, but there's going to be a few new islands up here. Volcanic. It's going to be a really interesting couple of years, the next 5 years. How, well, he won't send funds. Basically, he's refused funds for North Carolina and other places. He just won't. It's his view that the state should handle natural disasters. So he just won't send funds, and he'll say things that do not help, basically, like they should vacuum the forest. Um, yeah, manipulation. He'll expect people to enact miracles. Page of Pentacles again. Opportunistic. Yeah, he'll use them as opportunities to forward his agenda. So yeah, totally tone deaf. So yeah. Yeah. They don't help with rebuilding. No, they don't. Okay. I'm still okay. I'll go back to picturing the Pacific Rim. But I feel like there's over in the Himalayas, you know, in that the European plate and the South Asia plate area, lots happening there. But there's going to be stuff in areas that are inaccessible, and it's not really going to. Some of it will affect other areas, but others won't. Yeah. Hi, Sheila. Hello. How you going? Glad to have you on, my darling. What I'll do is I'll send you an invite for next week, and if you want to join, then you can join. If not, you don't have to. Have just write a reminder. Oh, itchy ear. Hi, Annie. Pens everywhere, and none of them work, which is pretty much standard, isn't it? In today's day and age. They don't make pens to last. Send invite to medium Sheila. I don't think you're a medium Sheila. I think you're a top-notch Sheila. Next week. Next week. Okay. And that will be the 7th of the 6th, 25. Annie and I had a good catch up last week. It was really great. Lovely to talk to her again. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the house. The US House of Representatives. What's going on there? I might use a different deck. Okay. Really was, wasn't it? Lovely. Okay, so we'll look at the House, and then we'll look at the Senate, and then I might do some personal readings for people. So who's up first? Let's have a look. Berta Nida. Yep. Berta, you will be up first, but I've just got some more readings to do first. So Roberto. Okay. Okay. Yes, Yvonne, I'll do a reading for you. Okay. And yep. Okay. So G7 meeting. Will Trump be allowed into Canada? Okay. Inertia, stagnation, permanence. Possibly not. I don't know. I think he might send somebody else. I think he might send Vance. Intending it to be an insult. Yeah. Okay. Or he might not send anyone. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the House. I'll draw 3 cards on the House of Representatives. What they need to know. Well, they should know it. Financial ineptitude. They are obsessed with their wealth and status and stubbornness. And don't get me wrong. And don't take this insultingly. There are quite a few Democrats who are just as obsessed. But they will go with the party line, of course. And that's a lot of the reason why people go with the party line, even if their conscience tells them no. So very much need to step away from that sort of thing. What they need to do, they need to start carrying the burden of doing the right thing. They're not doing it at the moment, hence the struggle to even get the most basic dignities to people. What's going to be the outcome for the House of Representatives? Misery, distress, ruin. Well, the Tower. So if they don't listen to the previous 2 cards, it's going to all come crashing down around them. And I just don't see them doing that. And the Democrats need to listen as well to their constituents as well. Because there are some people who have been there long term who could get primaried because they're feeling like the Democrats need some new energy injected into it. So there's going to be a few primaries, I think, with the Democrats as well. They will win, but there's going to be a few. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And 3 cards on the Senate. What does the Senate? And then I'm going to start doing 3-card reads for you guys, okay? So what does the Senate need to know? They've got a period of burden coming up where they're really going to feel the effects of the House and their decisions. and they're really going to struggle to get things through. I don't know why, but it's going to be a real struggle. I see people just not turning up for sessions to vote. It'll be easier for them if they don't turn up. What they need to do is really bring some people, show leadership, security, and discipline. What's the outcome? Alliances. Okay, I do feel like there's going to be new alliances happening. I think that maybe the Democrats will hold the Senate as well. They'll take over the Senate as well. And alliances. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Yes, I know. One of my favourite episodes of The Muppet Show is Loretta Swit's episode where Kermit fires Piggy because she's gone too far in the pursuit of Kermit. And Loretta Swit just jumps in to take over everything, Piggy. And I absolutely love it. I adore that episode. She was a wonderful, wonderful actress. I remember seeing some episodes of MASH where, oh my God, she just showed vulnerability and anguish and that somebody who is in command, the cost of that in having to separate yourself from people and not being able to enjoy this or enjoy that. At leadership at the loss of camaraderie and things like that. And oh my God, she was a wonderful, wonderful person, wonderful actress, and dearly missed. Bless her. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to do, yeah. Not surprising, my darlings. Not surprising that they're doing that. So let's see. How about 1001 Nights for personal reading? Let's have a look at that. A great deck, beautiful deck. It's the last Garibo deck. Robert Nider, you asked first if you could get a reading. Of course you can, my darling. 3-card reads. Let's have a look at what 1001 Nights has for you. Okay. Roberto Nider. Here we are. Let's have a look. Roberto Nider. Spirit, please. What you need to know, Roberto. Seven of Cups. Things might seem confusing. You might find it hard to see a clear path with the 7 of Cups. But things you can do. Now, it says things you need to do, but this is all about choice, and this is about guidance, not instructions. So I'm going to change it to things you can do or choices you have. Now, we've got the Three of Cups here, which is gain support. Okay. You can gain support. You can to steady yourself, or you can just overindulge in the feeling of not being able to make your way clearly and things like that. You'll be surprised the support that is there for you if you go and ask for a little bit of help. Okay, Roberto? And what's the possible outcome for you here, Roberto? The King of Chalices. Again, all cups. So this is a very emotional and emotive time for you, Roberto. So stability, regaining your sense of purpose, regaining your feet will be the outcome if you do things the right way. If you approach things the right way, you don't have to do it all yourself. Okay, that just came out. You don't have to do it all yourself. You see the guy, he's sitting there, he's getting support. You don't have to do it all yourself. Ask for a little bit of help here, Roberto, and you will get it. Okay? You don't have to do it all yourself, my darling. Okay, Sabrina fell. I think Sabrina's next up. Your spirit guides, okay. Sabrina Phelps. What do Sabrina's spirit guides have to say for her? Let's have a look. Sabrina, what do your spirit guides have to say? What messages do they have? 8 of Cups. Yeah, it's a good time to walk away if you do not feel that the situation is working for you. You do not have to accept being swept up on the rocks. If you want to go in a different direction, now is the time to do it. And it doesn't mean abandoning everything. It just doesn't mean abandoning a task. It just means abandoning a certain approach to a task. Then we have, cups are very prominent today. Then we have the Knight of Cups. And this is what you need to know. Following the ideal is not always the best way. Might seem like an ideal way to go. And yes, you can go that way. It might not turn out like you suspect or you hope, but it could turn out better or it could turn out worse. So have a really think, is it too good to be true? Or can you see clearly what obstacles there may be in taking approach? I do feel like it tied back to, so this is the time, okay, with the 8, this is the time to really take a close look at how you're planning to approach something. Okay, how are things going to turn out, Sabrina? 3 of Pentacles. This is working in cooperation with others will be a good thing. And you will get recognition. Look at this beautiful golden palace, the three little guys there. Anyway, we did this, we achieved this. So achievement of a goal is there. But now is a good time to pause and take a look at how you want to do that. Okay. Hi, Sherry French. Yvonne White. You've asked for a card. Yep. Reading. I hope you like these 1001. They're beautiful. They're intricate. And there's so much in them. Sometimes you're zoning on the smallest details, but when you have a look, it's like there's this whole picture right in front of you. And sometimes zoning in on the smaller details is not necessarily what you need to do. So think about the bigger picture, Sabrina. Okay. Yvonne White. Have a sip of this coffee. Got an itch on my ribs. Yvonne White. And yeah, thank you, Shelby, for the donation. It's very welcome too. The 9 of Wands. One step from the goal. You might seem a bit tired and not quite sure how you're going to make that next step. Okay. I'm getting stop, look, and listen, baby. Rubbernecking from Elvis. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that hair. It is out of control. Let's have a look here. Okay. Stop. That's called rubbernecking, baby. It's not the time to stop. Yeah, not the time to stop and look at the carnage on the highway, if you get my meaning. It's time to keep going. What are the choices you can have? Oh, well, this is a major arcana. Danger. This is 16. The Tower. The Tower, isn't it? 16. Yeah, the Tower. So, look, be careful in the actions you take, okay? It's not a good time to stop and pause, but you still have to take care. Whatever action you take, there's going to be some revelations. There's going to be maybe, oh, wow, having to pick up some pieces. That's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? In some instances, it's like this Tower is an opportunity to clear out what has decayed and undermined. Yvonne White. But that doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. That doesn't mean it's not going to cause some drama. But and it's really important because it is a major arcana. But the outcome here is the 7 of Swords. Those who have been trying to get away with things will finally be exposed. Final exposure with the 7 of Swords. It's like this has been a long time coming, and you're at the final step before it all happens. but things will finally be out in the open. Things will finally be exposed. And it might be turbulent, Yvonne, but it's sort of also going to bring a bit of relief. Hi, Denise Trudeau. Who else would like a reading, 3-card reading? And if you have a specific question, like Sabrina Fell asked what messages she had from her guides or spirit, you can ask that. You've got a sick fur baby. Oh, sweetheart. I'm sending Denise Trudeau lots of loving, healing energy to her fur baby. There's one of the steampunk hats is out. Yeah. It was getting too hot in the beanie. So yeah. The other one's in a bag somewhere. I've got to put some butterflies on it, stuff with the glue gun. But yeah. Family messages for Steve. You've got a major arcana, and this is 11. Courage, valor. I think it's strength in this case. I think this is strength. Remember, in some decks, strength and justice swap. Swap. Yeah. So in this deck, number 11 is courage, it's strength, physical strength, spiritual energy, moral strength. You're going to be called on to display a great deal of strength, my darling. But don't feel that you won't be able to do it, because you will. You are so much stronger than you see yourself as being. What you need to know is this is the Ace of Pentacles. This is an opportunity for new growth. I feel like the flowers in the field, a new feeling of energy, a new time to head in a new direction. So think about new directions. And heading in a new direction does not mean abandoning. It just means dealing with things in a different way. And so look at the directions in which you can go. And the outcome here is the Four of Pentacles, which can be dealing in extremes. I feel like you're going to be going from one extreme to another. Yeah. And it's not always easy. You're going to struggle to find a new balance for a while. Pentacles is about not just money. It can be about physical health, physical security. It can be about mental health. And I feel like it's your physical and mental health that might be challenged. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but you're going to be called upon to show a lot of strength, that you are strong enough to deal with it. Okay. And take the time to be out, take every opportunity to be out in nature and to breathe. And to ground yourself. Okay, Steve? Would anyone else like a reading? Now, if you like what I can do with 3 cards, I do personal reading. I charge $30 for an hour, and I do them using Jitsi Meet. So I see your face, you see mine, and it's and I charge $30 US. I use PayPal as a payment method, but so $30 US or the equivalent in the currency, like the equivalent of $30 US in Australia is $45. But so thank you. Anyway, would anyone else like a reading? How is your wet? Well, we had a storm come through yesterday and part of Thursday. It's sort of not storming today, but very cloudy, and tomorrow, but the first half of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, going into Thursday, we've got a very big cold front coming up that's going to affect a huge part of the state. We're expecting lots of storms and up to 100 millimeters of rain. So a lot of rain. So it's going to be very wet, cold, and I love storms. For a couple of days, I'm going to have to go out in them to go to work. But I'm looking forward to maybe sitting down on Monday and just enjoying the stormy weather, because I do like them. I do like it. So, and it's been the coldest May on record, I think, with the cold weather. Oh, wow. Well, batten down the hatches, my darling, and look after yourself. Yeah, nothing wrong with a bit of steampunk, my darling. Okay, I am going to wrap it up there if nobody else wants a reading. Thank you again for joining me. Yes, we do. Yeah, winter is coming in. So thank you very much for joining me and continuing to support me, even though I cut down on what I do quite a lot. And that's all right, Constance. If it doesn't rain, you're gardening tomorrow. Uncover the news. Yeah, yes, I know. That was tragic. The flooding that Annie is talking about, 4 lives, I think it did. 4 people lost their lives in it. And hi, J Cat Lady. Oh my goodness, COPD. Oh, J Cat Lady. Oh my darling. Send out healing, loving, comforting energy. White, blue, green, yellow, positive energy to J Cat Lady. What have we got here? Knave of Pentacles. Yeah, the messages on your health. Yeah. I will be back on Saturday next week. Listen to what you're being told, the judgment. Really listen really carefully. This is the messages about your health. This is the importance of listening. And no, it's not a judgment on you, my darling. And temperance, and you will find a new balance in life. You will listen to it, and you will find a way to a new balance in life, which will hopefully help with you. Yes, group hug for J Cat Lady. Group hug and group hug. Also for Denise Trudeau and her fur baby. Group hug. Oh, thank you, Denise. That's much appreciated. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to go now. My head is starting to ache, which means it's time for me to wrap it up for the day. As always, thank you so much, my darling. Stay strong, stay loving, and it can feel a bit hard to stay strong when you've been delivered news like that, but stay strong, stay loving, stay as healthy as you can, stay happy. And above all, my darling, stay laughing. If you can laugh every day and you can laugh with a stranger. Love you all. Bye-bye.